Hi guys, welcome to the Nox Bennett channel. Let's begin Science Curriculum Base 2023. Soil degradation includes all the following except, I'm just going to go straight to the answer, guys. Increase in the soil retention. So that would be D. Whether directly or indirectly, soil degradation is caused by A. Reforestation. Because the time is so limited, guys, I'm trying to complete this in 20 minutes. Number 3, refer to the image below and answer the question that follows. Which of the following are possible risks of the turtle consuming the plastic? A, choking to death. B, blocking intestine. C, rupturing internal organ. And that would be D, all of the above. So guys, no plastic in the sea, all right? Let's go. Refer to the image on the greenhouse gas emission. Answer the question that follows. So we have the greenhouse effect, we have the reflect, all of that. All right, sunlight absorbed. Which of the following is not likely to be an effect of the greenhouse gas emissions? Cause climate change by trapping heat. B, contribute to respiratory disease from smoke and air pollution. Contribute to coral bleaching. Fall in the global surface temperature. So for that one, it would have been D. Let's move on to number 5. The following are effects of climate change on the people in the Caribbean, except A, is it increase in tropical storms and hurricanes, B, rise in sea level, C, extended periods of drought, D, cooler days and night. So that would be D. Let's move on to number 6. Remember, I want to finish it as quick as possible. Which of the following is a method of reducing the causing and effects of climate change? A, reduce deforestation. B, practice slash and burn agriculture. C, increase charcoal making. D, expand mining activities. And that's A, reduce deforestation. Number 7, which statement complete the definition of climate change? Climate change is the average weather pattern in various places, blank, over a short period of time. B, within 1 year. C, over a long period. Or D, within few months. And that would be C, over a long period of time. Refer to the image below of the child in the shadow and answer item 8. So the child and the shadow, right? Which statement is false about shadows? A, only opaque values can form shadows. B, shadows are always black, dark in color. C, size of the shadow do not depend on the distance between the light source and the object. D, shadows always form an opposite side of light source. And that would be C. The size of the shadows do not depend on the distance between the light source and the object. Refer to the passage below and answer item 9. A student is doing a research on shadows formed with light rays from flashlight directed towards a box. The shadow is formed on the screen behind box. Following his observation, he made a conclusion. Which of the following is a suitable conclusion from his research? As the box size increased, the shadow gets smaller. As the flashlight got bigger, the shadow also got bigger. As the flashlight was moved closer to the screen, the shadow got bigger. I'm gonna go with C. All right, let's move on to 10. Light reflection. Light reflection is a change in the direction of the light wave falling on a reflective surface. So there we have the light source, which is the flashlight incoming, and then you have the reflected light. The reflective surface is smooth and shiny, such as a glass and mirror. From the diagram above, circle the letter to show if each statement is true or false. Light reflects from a surface in several directions. That's it. Light reflects from a surface in several. Oh, that is B. That would be false. The angle of incoming light is equal to the angle of the reflecting light. And that is A. That is correct. All right, let's move on to number 11. A student is learning to play the guitar and realizes it changes the pitch at different colors when he plucks it. Which two features of the strings would change the pitch of the sound? A, the retention of the string, and that. B, the color of the string. C, the type of material. And D, the length of the string. So the tension of the string, that is 1, color of the string, type of the string, and the length of the string. So that would be A and D. Let's look at number 12. What can be done to get the guitar to make a louder sound? Is it A, lightly pluck the strings, B, move the strings further apart, or C, pluck the strings with greater force? And that's plucking it with greater force. Bang! Ding, 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 ding. All right, let's move on to 13. Carla saw Tony Ann on the playground from a distance, so she shouts out in the direction of Tony Ann. Carla's back was turned to several students on the playground, but they still heard her. Which two of the following could not be the reason why the other students heard her? A, sounds traveling a straight line. B, sound can be reflected. C, sound can be observed. B, sounds travel in direction from its sources. And that's A, sounds travel in a straight line. Sounds can be observed. And it's, remember guys, it's could not, right? So it's a not we're looking for. So bear that in mind, look at those keywords. 14, which two sources of noise pollution? Which two are sources of noise pollution? The sound coming from a paper when it is crushed. B, a car with a turbo engine, boom, boom, boom. A paper when it is the floor, or the siren of a fire truck. I would say D and the turbo. So that would be B and D. Let's move on to 15. Let's go, guys. Hit the like button. James is doing an experiment shining flashlight towards three materials of different characteristics and make note of the finding of his experiment. For one of the objects, some light pass. Which of the following would be the most suitable conclusion? And that would be C, the object is transcluent. All right, so let's move on to 16. For one of the objects, all the light pass through. Which of the following could possibly be this object? A, a magnifying glass. B, a cardboard box. C, a sheet of paper. Or D, a t-shirt. And I'm gonna think it's a magnifying glass. So that's A. For 17, the third object was a football. What two things happen when the beam of the light when shone on it? A, the light passes right through. B, form the shadow. C, some light passes through. D, no light pass through. So one, we know say no light now go pass through a football if you shine that, right? And form a shadow, that would be B. All right, let's move on to 18. 18 to 19 refer to the diagram, and we have the actual pencil, air, pencil scene, by viewer and the water on the eye. What properties of the light is shown in the diagram? Is it A, reflection, absorption, scattering, or refraction? And that's refraction. So for 18, it would be D. Let's move on to 19. What could be the reason why the pencil seemed to bend to the viewer? A, light slows down and change direction slightly in the water. B, light travel in a straight line. C, light travels fast in water. Or D, light moves in all sorts of direction. And that's A, light slow down, did they change direction slightly in the water. So let's move on to 20. Which material would sound travel fastest through? A, steel, B, water, C, air, or D, glass. And that's A, steel. So we're halfway there, guys. Hit the like button. Let's go, let's go. 21. Which two are properties of luminous objects? A, not able to produce light. B, it has its own light. C, these objects are responsible for vision. Or D, don't have its own light. And that would be B, it has its own light, and these objects are responsible for vision. Let's move on to 22. Examine, there's an instruction. Examine the table below and use the information to answer item 22. A student conducted an experiment on two types of liquid and made the following observation. Elements fixed. So we have liquid, composition, melting, boiling point properties, and separation. So study it carefully. Liquid A is likely a or an. Liquid A. Set of elements is fixed. Fixed melting and boiling point. It has different and physical chemistry and properties from constituent elements, can only be separated by chemical and electrical methods. That sounds like a compound. So for element, liquid A is to be an element, a compound. All right, let's move on to 23. Which of the following is a mixture? Water, soda, nitrogen gas, or bleach? Soda, or you mustn't drink. All right, 24. Substances are either melt or burn when heated. Choose a letter to show if each statement in the table describes melting or burning. So there is a statement, melting and burning. Solid change to liquid. Solid change to liquid. You have to melt that. The process is irreversible. Irreversible. That would be burning. All right, a new material is formed. A new material is formed. Burning. So we can change something there to gas, liquid to gas. Even solid can burn and turn to gas. All right, let's move on to 25. Paul woke up in the morning and realized the grass was wet even though rain did not fall. What process is likely responsible for this observation? And that is A, condensation. So let's move on to 26. Peter is conducting an experiment to test the boiling points of various liquids. What should the student keep? What should the student keep the same to make it a fair test? A, volume of liquid being tested. B, the color of the thermometer used to test the temperature. C, the length of the time the length of time to be heated, or D, color of the liquids used. That's A, the volume of the liquid being tested. All right, let's move on to 27. A mixture of water and sugar can be classified as what kind of mixture? Is it solid to solid, liquid to liquid, liquid to gas, or solid to liquid? Solid to liquid. Boiling water starts to release the vapor. What is the process known as? Is it boiling, evaporation, melting, or condensation? And that's evaporation. Let's move on to 29. Item 29 to refer to the below. A student conduct an experiment where he is testing the magnetic properties of various metals. This metal was concluded to be magnetic. Which of the following could this be? Yo! Hold on a minute. All right, so the metal was concluded to be magnetic. Which of the following could be this metal? And that's a nickel. All right, let's move on to number 30. Just 10 to go, guys. Let's go, let's go. This metal was found to be non-magnetic. Which of the following could be the metal? Is it nickel, lead, iron, or steel? And that is lead. 31. Each statement in the table below was suggested as a possible cause of climate change. A, deforestation, overfishing, exhaust from the vehicle, and all right, so let's do one at a time. Deforestation, so causes. Each statement below was suggested as a possible cause of climate change. Each of the following. All right, so deforestation, agree. Overfishing, disagree. Exhaust from the vehicles, A. Burning of garbage, A. All right, let's move on to 32. Which statement complete the definition of noise pollution? Noise pollution is an unwanted or disturbing sound that A. affect the health and well-being of the human beings and other organisms. B. pleases all persons. C. affects only humans. D. does not affect persons' health. So for 32, that would be A. affects the health of well-being of human being and other organisms. The man, if it's something nice with the sound, man. Yo. Sound measured in decibels. What is the possible effect of a prolonged exposure of noise above 70 decibel? No effect. Hearing impairment, minimal impact on hearing, or moderate impact. And that's hearing impairment. So that's 33 would be B. Let's move on to 34. The table shows the area of light on wall and distance of flashlight from wall. Use this information below to answer item 34. So we have the distance of flashlight from the wall and the area on the wall. So that's 5, 10, 7, 14, 12, 24. Basically everything double, right? Which is not a pattern seen in the data presented in the table. A, the area of the light on the wall is twice, yeah. As the distance of the light from the wall increases, the area of the light of the wall increases. That is true. C says all the distances of the flashlight from the wall decreases, the area of the light on the wall increases. So that would be C. Let's move on to 35. Hit the like button now, guys, man. We're not deal with. Which of the following is a good conductor of heat? A, glass, B, plastic fork, C, stainless steel fork, or D, styrofoam? And a good conductor of it would be the stainless steel fork. All right, let's move on to 36. The diagram below shows the structure or layers of soil. Use this diagram to answer item 36 to 38. What part of the solid is labeled C, and that would be the bedrock, which is right here. All right, let's move on to 27. What is a part labeled A defined as? I'm going to go back up to the diagram. The part labeled A. All right, let's go back to it. A, dead soil and no longer has the properties to support it. B, area containing mainly inorganics, rock, sand, clay particles. C, undergoes weathering, which breaks rocks into small particles of varying sizes. Or D, organic matter that forms in soil when the leaf litter and the dead animals decay. So for that one, it would have been D. What is the name of the layer soil labeled B? Is it humus, topsoil, bedrock, subsoil? Let us go back up there and see. B. And that would be the subsoil. All right, let's move. Oh, that would be to 38 would be D. 2 to go, guys. 2 to go. 39. Fertilizers used on farm sometimes get washed away into nearby rivers. This can affect the environment severely as it can cause A, death or illness in animals that depends on the river. B, rising carbon dioxide levels and resulting in temperature change. C, deforestation. Or D, soil erosion. And that would be A, death or illness in animals that depend on the river. All right, so be careful with the fertilizers. And 40, the final one. The environment can be harmed when communities and roads are built on hillsides, as this may cause A, rising carbon dioxide levels and results in temperature change. B, death or illnesses in animals that depends on the river. C, increased flooding in lone-line communities. So that will be C. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to be a part of my maths class, this is my number. Again, everyone should have my number by now. All right, let's go, guys. Let's go. All right, this is Lunks Minutes. I'm out, no doubt. See you guys in another video.